Hi, I'm John Daddow from Constantech. I'm here today with Prosper on his television show to help people understand AI a little better, how to use it, and how AI can help your small business to perform better online.
Hey there, online prosperity enthusiasts. I'm your host, Prosper Taruvinga, and today we've got a guest who's not just a tech whiz, but he's also a speed skating sensation. Now, John, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you, Prosper. Fantastic to be here with you.
Absolutely. Well, we are in for a treat. I think so, because there's so much that we're going to unpack about your work and everything else that you're doing in the AI realm and how you're helping other people create content using these new technologies. And yes, you heard it right. We've got the man who can actually navigate the digital world and also glide through the ice rink with equal finesse. Now, John is the mastermind behind Constantech and is a living testament to the fact that you can actually embrace both algorithms and adrenaline in one lifetime. Now, if you think this episode is about business automation and AI and everything else that comes along with it, I want you to think again, because we're going to be unraveling the layers of John's life from his small town, Queensland uh, place where he lives, to high school escapades in Denver. And I want you to buckle up on a roller coaster of a conversation that I think promises to be one of the best rides we've had in a while. So it's going to be a mix of business, wisdom, personal tales, a dash of humor, and I just want you to just dive in into this journey with me and John. Now, John, I could go on and on. You could have just stopped me a long time ago and said, I think that's enough. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you actually got started in this tech lifestyle you live now.
So in a past life, Prosper, I was a motor mechanic. That was my first career, and I got to the point when I was 25 where I was asking myself whether I wanted to be a motor mechanic for the rest of my life. And the answer to that was a pretty solid no. I didn't want to be. So then the next question, of course, was, well, what do I actually do with my life then? And it was just right at that time I was living in Brisbane, went and visited my older sister in Sydney, who was an IT trainer back then. And you mentioned about uh, my high school in Denver. I did grade 12 in Denver. And one of the classes, the class that I got the best result in was computer math, and that was back in 1982. So they were a bit ahead of us in Australia at that time. And math was always my best subject, and then adding computers in made it even more interesting, intriguing to me. So a time with my sister and mucking around with computers at her place for the week that I was there. And I thought this might be the thing for me to do. So I made inquiries when I got back home to Brisbane and enrolled in some study, uh, which I worked a couple of part-time jobs while I was doing that study. One was at the local service station. It was stuff that I already knew. The other one was because of a mate of mine from Noosa. I grew up in Noosa, who had moved to Brisbane and got a job with Power Brewing. And Powers is actually making a comeback, I see there, but they were quite big back in the day, and he was working in their sponsorship department. I worked part-time in their sponsorship department, which gave me then access to bowl up to the IT manager just before I was about to finish my study and ask if I could do some work experience, which uh, turned into my first IT job, and that was July 1991. I started that job, and then the next 32 years or 32 and a half years, I guess, has been solidly in the IT industry in one way or another.
Absolutely. What a journey. What a journey. And back in the time when you would have been in Denver doing your computer science, that was MS-DOS, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, yes,
Absolutely. It
indeed.
was
So it was. Yeah, it was all. It was the the green letters on the black screen. That was that was all you had. Yeah,
absolutely. And I remember precisely C colon backslash.
that's it.
Absolutely. What sort of programs, I mean, what sort of things would you create on there? Because we used to watch people from Windows, they were either learning to type or they were just programming the computer, because back then processes like Word were not even there yet, and people would actually have to program it from that C colon backslash sort of screen, and the cursor just kept moving, blinkering on there.
Yeah, we were doing math. So we were doing math equations and uh, having the computer set it up so that it would provide us answers to math equations and that sort of thing. Prosper, yeah.
Absolutely. And the internet was quite
Not
free.
not 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 the sort of thing that pushes everyone's buttons, I'm aware. Yeah.
Supposedly. The internet started in 1983. Were you exposed to it all this time when you were getting started?
I wasn't exposed to the internet until 1996. Yeah, when I was in Denver, they had a, a big computer in a room, and we were hooked into the big computer in the room that helped do the crunching, because we were just on what's known as dumb terminals. Back then, yeah, but there was no internet. It wasn't until 1996 that I started to hear those famous tones of the dial-up modem connecting us into the internet. Prosper.
Oh,
You're very good at that.
well, we were there when it all started, man. So you'd listen up to that. Oh, that is on the internet, so you come be on the phone and things of that nature. So if you were anticipating a call, then you would know for the next 1 or 2 hours, nobody's gonna call the house. But that's really exciting. So you would have lived through the days from 25 megabyte floppy disks, then all through to hard disk drives, and now we've got the cloud.
Yes, it's amazing. And we thought it was a fantastic advent when we went to double density floppy drives, and it went from 720 kilobytes to 1.4 megabytes. Yeah, I was like, wow, we can put so much stuff on here now. Yeah?
Now, John, I want to tell you something funny. Our school uniforms used to have a pocket, right? And I would put hard disk drive in there, and I would walk around, just showing people, now I do computers, and this this is the badge of honor that I had. I liked how, I would have maybe a stack of them, and each of them would just maybe have one photograph. Well, those were the days, and it's a pity kids of today would never live to know what it actually means to wait for a photo to open on the internet,
Yeah,
right?
yes, yeah, yes. You used to, yeah, see every page unfold painfully slow, didn't we? Yeah.
It's like watching paint dry for sure. Now, John, tell us, what were you doing in Denver? I mean, for somebody who would have been a Queensland boy.
So my dad's brother used to live in London, and older sister, when she finished high school, spent a year over there with him. And then my dad went over to one, visit his brother and pick up my sister. And they came back via America. They bought a second-hand car in New York, drove it across the country and sold it in Los Angeles. On the way through Colorado, they stopped in Denver to catch up with some relatives that my dad had discovered in his work with Family Tree. And while he was there, he found a facility which they called a career enrichment park. So and it was shared between two schools. The schools were about 5 miles or 8 kilometres apart, and this was about geographically centre. And you could do just about any trade that you could think of at that facility as part of your school studies. So, and my dad was a Honda dealer. That's why I became a mechanic. And I went to Denver. I did half of my school day at Westminster High and the other half of my school day at the Career Enrichment Park doing motor mechanics. So that was how, and I didn't stay with the relatives. As it turned out, I stayed with a family there who had a son the same age as me. So yeah, we went to school together, and that's how I got to being in Denver for grade 12.
Absolutely. And I can only imagine that your exposure to the tech that they were using at that time, as you mentioned, they were far advanced, because I think those were around about the days where IBM, Compaq, and every one of those big companies were literally showcasing their technological advancements, in that sort of space. Now, would you say that maybe sort of got you hooked onto wanting to pursue a career in IT or anything to do with computers?
Yeah, well, as I say, the memories of the computer math class, it came to the forefront of my mind when I was thinking about what do I want to do post being a motor mechanic. So and I recalled, how much I enjoyed that class and how well I did with it, and which gave me confidence that I would enjoy a career in IT, and I'd probably be able to do okay with it as well. So yeah, certainly.
And you came back, you started pursuing a mini career in speed skating up until you were actually a junior speed skating champion in Queensland, is it?
That's correct. Yeah, that was through high school. Yeah, before I actually went to Denver. Yeah, so yeah, I love fast things. So the ordinary ice skating wasn't quite enough for me. I needed to strap on a faster pair of boots and see just how quick we could lap around the rink. Yeah.
Absolutely. You also do kart racing and ice skating. I mean, obviously it would be a natural progression with all of these things. Now, humor me here. Methwies, junior junior speed skating champion, kart racing, ice skating. Tell us, how do you all these hobbies, sort of connect you to your professional mindset?
So it's interesting. People sometimes wonder how do the people who go racing actually manage the speed that they're going at. So and what happens is that one slows things down in their mind. Yeah? So you might be doing 120 kilometres an hour, about 3 centimetres off the ground, but you slow it all down in your mind, and you're waiting for each next point to come along, because you know you're going to do something particular at that point. So that has that technique has worked quite well for me in my career, Prosper. There, where I just slow things down, and my theory on when things start to go pear-shaped, the best first thing to do is to stop and take a breath, and slow it down, and think about where you're going, and go from this point to the next point to the next point to the next point.
Fantastic. Well, John, even if the opportunity arises, never invite me to be the guy that sits next to you reading the map, especially when you're kart racing. Have you ever seen those guys that are showing directions to the race car driver who's busy, trying to get everything else going? I'll be looking at and checking out the sites and showing them, hey, did you see that tree? Did you see that bird over there? So, because my mind just goes 500 directions all at once, and it is a gift that you have. And you've consolidated all of that, and you've come up with a really good product that you're offering there. Tell us a little bit the story behind Constantech.
Yeah, so if we go back a few years, actually go back more than a few years. This was relative to it. So during the 2000s, I was involved in a couple of open source projects that were focused on building business management systems, so otherwise known as enterprise resource planning, or ERP. Because I just enjoy the way business operates, and understanding how it operates and how different people operate in business. It's and I have a passion for business and people in business. So we go to a few years ago, and a conversation with a marketing guy, when my primary focus at the time was automating business processes. So implementing CRM, project management, and channeling that into financials, all that sort of thing. And the conversation with the marketing guy was about how content is king, and he was lamenting that more businesses didn't do more with content. So anyway, I went away from that conversation and had a bit of a think about it. I thought, well, there's two things that I see here with this, in what we talked about. And one was that the time factor involved for businesses to get content to the internet. It's all good and well to say get some content onto the internet, but there's a bit of work involved in that. So that was a pain point. And then the other thing that was that his services were reasonably expensive. So I thought, well, all you're offering to do is take their time pain point and make it a cost pain point. What you need to do is to take the pain away. So I wondered whether some automation might be able to help with taking some of that pain away. And certainly with the distribution of content, automation is very good, and we still use automation for distribution. However, when it comes to creating content, and I found in my journey on this that the content creation is actually a much more significant pain point than the distribution of the content. That automation just couldn't do it. It needed something more. And fortunately, for me, the planets were aligning, and AI was just starting to propagate in the creation space. So and we progressively did one thing after another as the technology became available, to the point now where everything that we create is created by AI. Prosper?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I quite concur with you because people come to the internet to get information. And if your website or your business is the one providing that information, then people get to know you, like you, and trust you. And people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And so many business owners have maybe solved the part of content distribution, but the actual creation of the content is still an enigma because it's not easy coming up with stuff or words. You'd be looking at a blank screen for days to come. But with the propagation, like you say, of AI, I think things are getting better. So, what is the role then that Constantech plays in this pursuit?
So at the heart of it all is my desire to take the pain away for small and medium business. It, I, I feel for other business people. They just need they're great in their business. They just need some help with something that's outside of their scope that they know that they'd love to do, and I'd love to be able to help them get it done. Yeah, so that's the driving force. That's the why of what we do. Yeah, and then the how is being able to apply the most appropriate AI to each particular point in the process.
Absolutely. It's a PD. Google lied to us. Do you know that, John?
How so, Prosper?
Because they made us believe that whenever you type into the search engine, somebody from Google is frantically searching to get you that website that you want or the information that you actually want, when in actual fact, all that content comes from websites like yours and mine. And it has to be quality content. And if it is, then Google will then present that information out there to the person that's searching. Would you concur with that?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, and Google must have known that you were coming after them, Prosper, because they say exactly that now themselves. Yeah, that it's quality content. They have a whole bunch of things that they look at when they come to ranking websites in their search results, but overwhelmingly the most influential piece of that in their algorithm is the quality of content and how well is it going to serve the person and the search that they've made and providing them with the best answer for their search that they've just made.
Well, they might as well, because their whole business model is predicated on people clicking on ads. And if people don't show up for that quality content, then there's no way they're going to be seeing the ads out there. Now, I've gone as far, John, as defining the acronym SEO to stand for simply educating others. Because if you're giving the right information for the right people at the right time, that will then, warrant them to want to do business with you and connect with you and things of that nature. And in the era of search, why do you think SEO content creation is actually the best way to go moving forward?
That's a fantastic take on that acronym too, Prosper. I've not heard that before, and it actually fits perfectly with what we were just talking about. Which piece of content best answers the question, or as you put it, another way, which piece of content simply educates others. Yeah? So yeah, so that's exactly why yeah, SEO content is the best type of content to be creating.
Ah, fantastic. Well, people, like I said, come to the internet to get educated, entertained, or to buy stuff, So it's only natural that that's, what you will be doing, educating others or simply entertaining others. That's pretty much what SEO really is. If your website is doing that, Google will obviously favor you, ahead of everybody else. And yeah, you would have heard it first because I just thought of it. So both you and I can coin this term. It depends who goes to town with it first. I don't know. You've got AI, so we might have to struggle and wrestle, for the ownership of that. But now that we've created this solid content, we've got this content strategy. Where does a business go to next, and how does Constantech sort of guide them forward?
Okay, so just a little bit of ancillary knowledge, Prosper. When one is intrigued by and then involved in AI, it's very easy to go off on tangents, looking at shiny things. Eh? So this is yeah, exactly, yes. Yeah, so off on the tangent. Yeah. Wow, that looks fantastic. Let me run over and have a look.
Oh,
Oh, hang on,
there
this
we
is
go.
even more fancy. Yes.
Squirrel. Squirrel.
Yeah. So, and there was a few occasions through last year that I got to the point of remonstrating with myself and John, just stay in your lane. So, as you're well aware, Prosper, as a business owner, time is not always something that works well for us. Yeah, we're usually short of time. So, and it got me to really focus on where am I going to provide our services, how am I going to provide our services, and how does that fit in with my why that I talked about before. So, and so we're now focused entirely on only the things that are going to help small and medium business to perform better online. Yeah? So we create content both for their website and their social media, which is one service that we have. Another service that we have now, which started in November, we've been involved with development of AI that comments on posts in your social media. Yes, and they're fantastic. They're fantastic comments. That we can do that in LinkedIn or Facebook. And when you post, on most of the comments you get are things like, great stuff, Prosper, thanks for that, or fantastic information, very, very concise sort of comments. Well, this is the AI creates really well constructed, which we can create custom prompts for, really well constructed comments, and that does amazing things for your profile visibility, especially when we're commenting on up to 50 posts per day, and again, it's taking that time pain point away. And then with that, we'll also create. So we do that Monday to Friday. We also create one post per day, 7 days a week, which is a nice post, which is again custom prompt. So it's industry specific to you, but it's also fits your persona too. We can prompt that way, and it's because when your visibility takes off like this, people, as we do now, once you notice someone, you go and check them out. because it's very easy to do that now. So we want them to see content when they get there. And then another big piece of that business performing well online is the paid advertising realm. And it does work well for a lot of businesses. It can be create a very good return on investment. So starting in February, we're just in the throes at the moment of getting some good runs on the board, and we are already getting good runs on the board where our AI hooks into a number of ad platforms: Google Ads, LinkedIn Ads, Facebook Ads, and others, and also hooks into Google Analytics. So it will analyze your market, put together an ad campaign, work out what's the best times to post the ads, the best budget to go with, and then get feedback from Google Analytics as it goes along to optimize the ad campaign, all run by AI. So, and all of that is all designed to help business perform better online and do it affordably. That's, as I said before, that was part of my equation, is to not just transfer the time pain point to a cost pain point, but to take the pain away.
No, Jordan, how big is your insurance? Because we're gonna blow people's minds with this. Let's what did you say about commenting? So you tell me, we're now talking to algorithms right now and AI in the comment section.
Yes, that's correct. And with everything that we do, Prosper, with the content creation, it all has human oversight. I'll just pop that one in there as well. Like with the content creation for the website, the articles that we create, we give the article to the business owner first for them to go over and make sure it's exactly how they want. Yeah? And then the videos that we put on social come from snippets out of that article. So that oversight's actually from the business owner. With the commenting, we have a person who is actually scrolling through the news feed. The AI is reading the posts as it goes through and analysing each post. Our person, if we take LinkedIn as an example, we'll only comment on those people who are either first or second connection. So our person has a quick look at the post, decides what style of comment is appropriate for that post, and we can create whatever, but to give you some idea, either a thoughtful comment, a supportive comment, an industry specific comment, and then we'll open up the comment box and click on whichever one of those buttons is appropriate, and the AI will then write the comment. And our person has a quick read just to make sure it seems good, and then clicks on post. Yeah, it works really, really well.
John, you should see the calluses on my hands just trying to type in and put in all that information, and you tell me it's just going to be on a click of a button. The AI answers the question and responds, and it's all good.
It is, yes, absolutely. And like I say, custom prompts that that we create to fit you, Prosper. And with this, I'll just put in here at this point. So all this type of AI is known as generative AI. So it generates something, either an image or some words, or a comment or an article. And with all of the generative AI, it is all about the prompt, and how how you ask it for what you want. So, and just to give you a bit of an example, our prompt for the articles to go on business websites, and generally the articles are about 1,500 to 2,000 words. the prompt that we use to create those articles is a bit over 300 words long.
Wow. It only takes maybe somebody who's a prompt engineer to put all of that together. Now, John, what would be the best way that people can get a taste of all this awesomeness? Because even I can't wait to wrap up this call so you can show me what you're talking about.
So if you search for John Daddow on LinkedIn, and I have a creator account, so it's easy to follow me. There's a follow button there. I'll be happy for people also to click on the three dots and click on connect as well, and then just post something on LinkedIn, and we will comment on it, and you'll get a taste of what those comments are like, and it's actually a win-win situation here, as it turns out. If you post something, Prosper, it's great for you if people do comment on your post, yeah, and react to your post, and that's another thing we do. We do a reaction as well. So and the better the comment is on your post, the more that the LinkedIn algorithm likes that and attributes value to you, as a creator. So and that really tickles me. That does that what I'm doing here, which sort of started out as something for myself. The knock-on effect is that I help the other person. Yeah. And I think that's just fantastic. So that if you would like to know, you can follow or connect with me on LinkedIn, and for sure we'll comment on a post that you create. You can see for yourself what it's like, and then we can continue the conversation from there.
Oh man, you have no idea what can of worms you've just opened up here, because so many of these things are coming up every single day. Like I told you, every morning I look at the email from tech founders, and somebody would have created a tool, a system, a plugin, or some sort of AI that is designed to take my job away, and I just I just don't follow through because it's so exciting. But I'm also afraid to, like you mentioned, just get attracted to the shiny object there. But you've been throughout all of these phases. We were joking around how, the internet was actually designed so that you can continue working because you had already started creating things, on the internet there, and you've seen it through. You've seen social media come. Some of them go, some of them change their names, some of them not even know what's happening, some of them getting bought out. And now we're in the whole realm of generative AI. And you've just blown my mind with this whole commenting and things of that nature. Now, reflecting on your journey there, John, what sort of advice would you maybe give to your younger self, and how would that resonate to aspiring entrepreneurs? I know you've already told us not to follow shiny objects, but there's got to be more.
So embrace the technology. The AI is not going away, and a business are heavily invested in, and business with money to invest in AI startups through 2023. There was over $200 billion of investment in AI startups in 2023. So there's a lot of money pouring into it. So it's absolutely not going away. And just like when the car came along, and there was people throwing stones at cars in the street because they were these horrible things, that were going to do all sorts of terrible stuff, and we should just stick to the horse and cart. So it's the same concept as that. and the best way to do the best thing for yourself for the future is to embrace the technology and become one of the people who are using AI. I say, Prosper, AI is not going to affect your work. A person using AI is going to affect your work. Okay? So the best way to mitigate that business risk is to become a person using AI.
I quite like that. I mean, I don't think we can go anywhere from there. I would like to thank you so much for the time that you've spent with me on the show today. And I know it's only the episode. You and I would sit down and we could talk from start to finish. And I think would have so much going on. So thank you so much for the glimpse into your life on the show today.
It's been great being here with you, Prosper. I appreciate that you reached out and providing me with the opportunity there. And certainly I look forward to more conversations.
Well, absolutely. And there you have it, folks. The incredible journey of John, the man who doesn't just crunch numbers, but also glides through life with passion. Now we're talking AI and how he's blowing people's minds in the news feeds there just by showing up, by embracing technology. And if you want to transform your business with insights on, first of all, quality content for your LinkedIn or SEO, and just seamless automation. You've heard John, and he can definitely have a chat with you. I think this episode is going to be in the ranks of one of the best we've had in a very long time. So I really appreciate your cadence and information and wisdom there, John. And I'll definitely make sure that we've got the links to your business in the show notes here for everybody else to get started on their journey with us. And for those that are watching right now, thank you so much. I encourage you to hit that subscribe button for more episodes packed with wisdom, humor, and stories that actually resonate. And don't miss a chance to watch this episode again, because there's so many golden nuggets that you might need to watch with a notebook in hand. Because the world of online, space and online prosperity is just getting started. And if you need internet explorers like John himself, who's been there since they were actually mapping it all out. So thank you so much for your time. And until next time, stay prosperous. Bye for now.